Many people around the world refer to themselves as Semites or Shemites. The problem is that these constructs are not biblical. There is no group of people in Scripture referred to as Shemite or Semite. These terms appear to be new constructions, and we're going to look at where they appear to be coming from. But it's important to note, even though you have groups referred to as like Benjamite or Benjami or Reubenite or Reubeni, there is no collective of people known as Shemi or Shemite or Semi or Semite, not a single group in Scripture. We're just going to look through what is available. We've gone over this before. 8034 Strong's, there is the name Shem, pronounced shame. However, there is no ITE that goes along with this particular name. And here you see this indication that the origin of the name is uncertain, but then you have these different translations of this particular construct, including byword, defamed, defames, fame, famous, memorial, on and on and on. However, there is no Shemite or Shamite or Semite or Samite or Sami or Sammy or Shemi in this scripture. And here you see Strong's 8035. And again, there is no Shemite or Semite that goes along with this particular name. And here are the various transliterations and forms. And again, it does not occur. It does not exist in Scripture. And here you see this variation of it in the form of a verb, again, meaning to put, place, or set. But again, there is no Shemite or Semite in the Bible. And here again, you see another entry at 7761, and there is no ITE form of this particular word. And this entry at 1030 is the closest that we come to it. Now, it indicates when you look on the right-hand side that there is an entity, a place, known as Beth Shemite. That's not accurate. That's not the way that's pronounced. That's not even the transliteration of this. And we're going to look a little bit more closely so you can see the transliteration, but that's not it. And here you can see very clearly that the translation is not Beth Shemite. It is Beth Shemish. And then you can see the pronunciation over to the left-hand side. It's that H-A-S-S-I-M-S-I. Now, there's no ITE at the end of that place name. However, something interesting does come up when doing the direct translation. And what comes up is it's supposed to be saying house of Shem or a form of that. But when you do the direct translation, it is the house of the sun. This is consistent with the understanding of Shem translating as sun. This is consistent with Shem being presented or understood as a solar deity. And this might also point to why there are no ITEs, because those would be descendants. And in this particular instance, Shem is meaning son. Now, of course, this is a latent understanding because that's not the general presentation that people are given with respect to Shem, but that's what we have. And when you look at that Morrison work, the Morris work, you see multiple iterations of Shem as son. And here you see another translation of the same construct, but in this instance, it's just indicating the sun without the house of the sun. Now, this entry provides some clarification about this whole idea of the construct of Shemite or Semite. And it indicates here that this is a new word. It's a new construct that emerged in the 1700s. And so it's coming from a German historian. And so it's indicating here that in this modern sense, it is said to have been introduced by a German historian, Schlosser, in 1781. And there's also an indication that this is supposed to be coming from this construct of Sem or Same or Shem. Because of the way that it's generally presented with that dot going to the right hand side over that flaming crown that we talked about, it does indicate that it is the sh sound. And so it would be Shemite. However, it doesn't matter whether it's Shemite or Semite, because in this instance, those are not constructs that are in the Bible. And so it's indicating here that these are words that came up more recently, and you see various iterations of it starting in 1781 or the 1700s, and then again in the 1800s, but not in the actual Bible. And here Merriam-Webster indicates that Shemite or Shemitish is related to the word Semite, which is archaic. But again, neither of these constructs occur in the Bible. And here these constructs are shown as related to the word Shem coming out of Scripture. So of course that name does exist, and again it's pronounced phonetically as Shame. But the first usage of Shemite, Semite, occurred, according to Merriam-Webster, in 1659. And here you see additional information about the word Semite, and it indicates here a member of any of a number of people of ancient southwestern Asia, including the Akkadians, Phoenicians, Hebrews, and Arabs, and also descendants of these people. But again, it's important to keep in mind that in the Bible, there is no collective of people with this particular name. And finally, Merriam-Webster provides additional clarification about the origin of this particular word, Semite, which is coming from Sem or Shem. It's coming from Shem. It's that SH sound. This is coming from the late Latin and from the Greek, seem or same or shame, from the Hebrew, shame. Okay. However, the first known usage of this is 1598, according to Merriam-Webster. So again, these are not biblical constructs. These are not biblical names that people can trace back to Scripture. And so people are debating about whether it's Shemite or Semite. In terms of Scripture, it's neither, because these constructs don't actually exist in Scripture. Although there are some other names in Scripture that do have that ITE and that E sound at the end.